Hello, I'm Corey, and I'm an arena junkie. We ended our last run, didn't go so hot. We're gonna try another one. Choice between Warlock, Druid, and Shaman. I haven't played Druid very much, so I'm gonna try that.
I must protect the wild.
I don't like the Arcane Golem. Twilight Drake is good early on, but I don't know if we'll have a whole lot of spells. If we do, I like the Violet Teacher. My concern with the Twilight Drake is by the time you play it, it's very susceptible to silence. So I think we're going to go with Violet Teacher. Moonfire is a terrible card. Reckless Rocketeer is a slightly less terrible card. Jungle Panther is overall a very good card. Easy choice. This actually is a difficult choice. Ironbeak Owl gives us some silence, but it's very susceptible. It's 1 HP. Not great. Really good in the Hunter deck, but I don't like it outside of that. Savage Roar is kind of like a mini Bloodlust. Everybody gets +2 attack, or all of your characters, including your hero, get +2 attack. Pretty nice. Soul of the Forest is an interesting buff card. If you flood the board with minions, suddenly killing them is it's a lot harder now to suddenly get board control, because as soon as you kill them, you're just going to flood the board with Trents now. I actually kind of like Soul of the Forest. It being a common card, I think we'll probably see it less frequently than the Savage Roar. My concern is the Savage Roar is more useful for, hey, gotta kill this thing now. This is more of a board control thing. It's an interesting choice. I think I'm actually gonna take Soul of the Forest. I think we could do something fun with it. Fairy Dragon, Mark of the Wild. Dread Corsair, we're never gonna have weapons. Dread Corsair goes away. Fairy Dragon is an overall amazing 2-drop creature. I really like it. It's hard to get rid of without sacking a minion, so it almost always goes 1 for 1, if not 1 for 2. And its unique ability prevents it from being pinged by hero powers that just deal straight damage. Mark of the Wild, though, is a really good card, too. I really like Mark of the Wild. I'm hoping we'll get some more of these, because I'm going to get the Fairy Dragon. Darkscale Healer, Starfire, Mark of Nature. Starfire is an expensive fireball that gives you a card. It's nice, but I don't want to rely on it too much. I like Mark of Nature better. They keep wanting us to take Starfire. Between Dalaran Mage and Harvest Golem, I think we're going to get more utility out of the Harvest Golem. Ooh, okay. So it's between the Sea Giant and the Ancient of War on this. Sea Giant is nice, really, in any case where we're putting out lots of little minions, and it synergizes well with our Violet Teacher if we get some more spells. Ancient of War is an overall solid card. 5/10 with Taunt, they're going to have to burn something to get rid of it. If they silence it, that kind of sucks. We could play the Sea Giant really early on, though, if we put out lots of little minions. I think we're going to go with the Sea Giant. Frost Elemental, Archmage, Mad Bomber. The Mad Bomber always screws me. He always, in casual and in ranked play, he never randoms the way I need him to random. So I think it's between the Frost Elemental and the Archmage, and I think the Archmage is probably just a little bit better. Silverhand Knight, Abusive Sergeant, Starfire. Again with the Starfire, it really wants me to take that card. Abusive Sergeant is a terrible 1-drop, because if you actually do play him on turn 1, he doesn't buff anything, and therefore is a 2/1, and they're better 2/1s for one cost. Alternatively, the Silverhand Knight's great. I think he's pretty good value. Angry Chicken. We actually could buff the Angry Chicken and make for a very silly play, but I think that belongs more in constructed decks. So I think it's really between the Violet Teacher and the Sun Fury Protector, and so far we are lacking pretty badly on any taunt, even if we're just using it to make our little guys more taunt worthy. I think that can be okay. Plus we don't have a ton of spells, so I don't want to invest too heavily in the Violet Teacher, who's not great if you can't take advantage of her ability. Gurubashi, Mark of Nature, Frost Elemental. Having another Mark of Nature wouldn't be bad. The Gurubashi Berserker can be pretty intimidating for most people. With 7 health, it's kind of hard to get rid of. You have to either throw a lot of creatures into it, or you have to burn at least, well, usually at least 2 cards, or a card and an ability. It can be a pretty good bullet magnet. I like the idea of buffing up some of our smaller things that would make them a little bit more dangerous. I think we're going to get the second Mark of Nature. That's easy. We won't have the South Sea Deckhand because we never will have weapons. So it comes down to Gnomish Inventor versus Silverhand Knight. I like the idea of picking up an Inventor just because we don't have any card draw right now. The Silverhand Knight, again, just a very solid card, very solid minion choice. I think we're going to go with the Gnomish Inventor right now, though. Shield Bearer could actually be pretty cool, but I'd have to spend 2 cards to get him up to par, and in the meantime, he might just get nuked down. Alternatively, the Stormwind Knight is a much more dangerous entity in the fact that I can play him, use his charge ability, he has 5 health, and I can probably keep him alive a little bit longer. Voodoo Doctor isn't great. Again, if I'm playing him on turn 1, what's he healing? Nothing. His battle cry goes wasted. Otherwise, it's a cheap heal, and even then you don't get a great minion out of it. The Fen Creeper is a pretty good taunt. I think there are better taunts out there, but the Fen Creeper is strong. Alternatively, they're offering us yet another Silverhand Knight. We're pretty lacking in walls, though, so I think we actually are going to hit the Fen Creeper. Ooh, tough choice. Wild Growth lets us accelerate quickly. We'll get 1 mana crystal up on our enemy and be able to play more of our higher cost creatures later. That's at a sacrifice of playing anything early, though. The Shattered Sun Cleric is a really solid choice. Good, makes us stats, good battle cry. I think we're going to go with the Wild Growth. Oh, we're going to get another Wild Growth. We already have 2 Mark of Natures. I don't want to invest too heavily into that, so we are going to actually get another Wild Growth. Hopefully we get some Innervates or something. Healing Touch, I typically don't like healing abilities because you can almost only use them on your hero, and unless you're going to really build for it like a Paladin deck or something, it feels like you're wasting the potential card. On the other hand, Working Infiltrator, this is the 1 drop that I would want. Dragonhawk could be very, very dangerous with Mark of Nature. We don't really have any way of giving it charge, though, and so I'm concerned that it would just straight up die. 1 HP is nothing. By the time I would be able to play it and Mark of Nature or anything else to really keep that thing alive and start hitting and doing damage, I think any smart opponent would kill it right away, knowing how many buffs that Druid can put out. Wrath can... I like the function of Wrath. I think it gives us some good utility. Innervate. I don't think this is even a choice. Questing Adventurer could be very scary in this deck, only because we could play him and then start ramping up very quickly. It could be very intimidating to an opponent. Again, though, starting at 2/2 and really what could we play with him? You know, maybe a turn 3. If we go second, maybe it's a turn 2, you know, coin, put him out, Innervate, Wild Growth, that puts us at a 4/4. I feel like he's just... They're not going to leave him alive long enough to really get the bite out of him. Speaking of bite, that gives us some instant removal, some protection. I'm going to take it. They're offering us another Shield Bearer, but with the creatures we have, I think we're going to go with the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Elven Archer isn't terrible, but again, there are better 1-drops. Having another Wrath wouldn't be bad, but Druid of the Claw is a solid card. 5 cost for 4/4. It's a slightly higher health Argent Commander with 1 less mana that doesn't have Bubble, so there's a lot of ifs in there and a lot of... But still, it can act as instant removal when you need it. Alternatively, it can also be a 4/6, which is a slightly stronger Fen Creeper for the same cost. I think we actually are going to go with the Druid of the Claw in this case. I think it offers us more utility. This is no choice. Healing Touch, Bloodstone Raider. Bloodstone Raider's a non-choice. Silver Moon Guardian's not bad. I'm warming up a little bit to Divine Shield minions. A little bit. I find them more annoying when I have to deal with them, and so the more I'm thinking about it, the more I like the idea of making my opponents have to deal with the fact that, hey, no, you're going to have to pop this bubble before you can do anything to this. And unless you're going to do it with a hero power or you're going to take 3 damage to the face yourself, you're probably going to lose a minion to it. So I actually am going to cap that for the Silver Moon Guardian. Dread Corsair's a non-choice. Hey, we got an offered Mark of the Wild. That's awesome. I definitely want that. And it is better than the Cobalt Geomancer for our current build. Joe and Yeti, no question. Bloodfin Raptor's pretty good. Argent Squire, again, not a bad one-cost creature. Having Divine Shield, it's not as protected as the Worgen, and the Worgen will remove things better than its cost most of the time, but the Argent Squire can potentially do the same thing, especially if your opponent can't react to the Divine Shield and you can use it to your advantage. On the other hand, Bloodfin Raptor is a very strong 2-drop as well. And what do our 2-drops look like right now? Basically, a Fairy Dragon and a Sun Fury Protector. Bloodfin Raptor, if it can live, we can buff it up a little bit, and which is something I don't believe we actually can do. Yeah, we can't do that with Fairy Dragon because it can't be targeted by spells, so we can't use Mark of Nature or anything else on it, I'm pretty sure. I've never tried. Whereas if this Bloodfin Raptor survives, we can start buffing it a little bit. I actually am going to go for Raptor. It comes down to Raid Leader versus Shattered Sun Cleric. Raid Leader, if I can hit 2 minions, it's better than the Shattered Sun Cleric. If I can do it, and if it stays alive. The Shattered Sun packs a little bit more of a punch, typically trades a little better, and makes another thing, whatever it's on the board, that much better. I think we're going to go with the Shattered Sun Cleric this time. Got 2 more cards. Razorfin Hunter, it's solid. It's not great, but it's solid. I think we have enough of an endgame punch from the... Well, we actually could stand to have a little bit better of an endgame punch. Right now, we're pretty much relying on this Archmage and a Siege, and the Archmage is not that great for it. But neither is this Frost Elemental. We don't have a lot of straight damage spells. We have a couple. So Cobalt Geomancer is a acceptable choice. It's not great. I think in this situation we go with the Razorfin Hunter. Hey, we're gonna get a legendary to end us up. Charmed Bloodhoof. Again, very annoying to deal with this card. At first, for 6 cost, 4/5 doesn't seem great. That's basically a Yeti for 2 more. But his Death Rattle brings out Bane, which is another 4/5. So even if you kill him, another 4/5 comes out. It can be really annoying for an enemy to have to deal with it. Onyxia can be good. It's an endgame punch that would be nice, but we really only get more benefit out of her if we are lacking in board control. My concern with that is, of course, if we're lacking in board control and that's kind of a last-ditch effort, how often is that really going to help us, or when are we really going to find ourselves in a situation to play that will be useful? King Mukla is a hilarious turn 3 card to just spring on your opponent. I had him in a previous deck. I think I had him in a... I don't know if I recorded that one. The fact that he gives your opponent 2 bananas, which are both +1/+1 buffs, means that he could be gotten rid of actually right on that turn. Something like, say, any common 3 damage attack that has charge, buff it twice with bananas. It's hit and miss. I actually think that Mukla synergizes pretty well with what we're trying to do, because we can buff him from a 5/5 into what? Where's my Mark of Nature? I mean, we can give him +2/+2. We can make a taunt wall. We can do a lot of silly things with Mukla. I think he could be really funny. We're gonna go with Mukla. All right. I don't know. I feel pretty confident with this deck. I don't know. That might just be my experience talking. I don't play Druid that often.
Malfurion versus Uther.
Hello, sir.
With honor.
Good, I will too.
Protect the wild.
I'll protect it from you. Doesn't help me. We are going to hold on to Wrath. It can act as some good ways to either get card draw and keep his board clear. I think it has utility that we'll find useful. Soul of Force we're getting rid of. That's something that by mid-game I'll be nice to have, but it's not going to help me right now. I'd prefer not to have either of those other two cards right now. That doesn't help me on turn 1. Okay, nothing we can do. Hi, Uther. Knocking on your church. Aw, we were one off. Break all the things while you figure out what to do with your 1 mana. Took him a long time to figure out he didn't want to do anything. So we'll hit him. I still don't have anything I can do. Hum, hum, hum. Come on. Oh, I don't have any more
Reporting for duty.
stuff. How sad. Mukla! Okay, this is what I meant by this could be both very funny. Now, I don't want to play Mukla right now. Or do I? I kind of don't want to, because if he did something like, say, Blessing of Kings on this Argent Squire, or on this Silverhand Recruit, rather, he'll just kill Mukla, and I won't get the funny use out of him that I'm hoping for. I could Wrath and get a card out of this to keep his board clear. I want to be able to use Mark of Nature next turn, though. Alternatively, I could just use my hero power, sit on my card, and just remove his board. What's the chances that he's going to be able to do? Well, no, he'll be on 3 mana. He won't be able to use Blessing of Kings. He might be able to use Blessing of Might. I really want to keep him around. Yeah, what the hell. Let's see if he has a way to deal with it. I'm curious. If nothing else, it'll be interesting to see if he can deal with it. He has a coin. So, I mean, he could coin in Blessing of Kings if he's sitting on it. That'd be really unfortunate if he actually is sitting on it. I suppose he could also... Well, no. Holy Wrath is 4 mana. Okay. You'll throw a Taunt Wall up. That works. Are you gonna... No, you're not gonna sack into Mukla. I wouldn't expect you to. That'd be very silly. There you go. Okay. Now, 4 mana. I can't both Wrath and Mark of Nature. I think we definitely want to Mark of Nature on him. Because I think we want to make him a 5/9 taunt. Because I think that'll be really funny. Oh? For 1 mana? What are you going to banana? Humility. No! Oh, stupid paladins! Damn it! Well, I guess we're going to Mark of Nature to remove that. Stupid paladins. Damn it. Well, how do we want to do this thing? Because he just made Mukla not so great. That makes me sad. I can Wrath his Enrage thing. That gets rid of it. I can... Do I want to buff up Mukla before I attack this turn and burn my Innervate? I guess I could. Man, I'm really not happy about that. 3 damage. This. You're dead. Man, that's really unfortunate. I guess we could keep Mukla around if nothing else to act as... To act as what? Nah, I'm gonna sit on the Innervate. I'm gonna use my hero power to get rid of him. I actually got hit him. We'll wait on Innervate. There may be a better play or something where we really, really need something right away. And I'd really rather not waste the Mark of Nature at this point. That's so disappointing. Humility. Stupid paladins. Oh well. Let's see. We could put out the Silverhand Knight. We could do that straight up. We could Mark of Nature to start building stuff behind Mukla as a taunt wall. That... What can he do to get rid of Mukla if I make him into a taunt wall? Not too many things. He won't take a lot of damage is the thing. He can just ram creatures into it. You know, at doing 1 HP, it's not that scary anymore. If I start flooding the board with minions, he is, of course, going to consecrate. I just have to assume he's going to have consecration. Let's put out him.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
It's a solid card. If I attack her, she's probably going to attack the squire.
Time waits for no one.
So I could attack him. No, I don't need to do that. I can hero power and attack her next turn if I need to. Now, 2 of those cards are bananas, so he doesn't have as much of a card advantage as we think. Although, that being said, he could banana buff her, get her up to a 4/6, and trade her with my Silverhand Knight. He could do that. What else could he do? True Silver Champion.
Summoning portal open.
Oh, okay.
Reporting for duty.
What do you have for 1 mana? I'm very confused. What are you doing?
One shot.
Ah,
One.
okay. And then what? Okay. Sure, whatever. I mean, it's... I guess you're doing it so that you can knock it out with him, I guess. We can buff Muckla back up now. We can make him into a taunt using the Sun Fury Protector, and use Mark of Nature to bring him back up to a 5/5. If we do that, he'll be taken down to a 5/3, because I'm going to use him to punch out that... I don't want him to have that summoning thing. If we use Innervate, we could use our hero power and remove a bit off the board. That's a lot of cards. I think, though, that that's not a bad idea. I think there are worse things we could do right now. So let's do this.
Shields up.
This. 4 attack. Muckla. Brings him back up to normal. And then let's use him to kill the pint size. Do I care if you have that? Not really. Although if I kill you...
Time waits for no one.
I think we actually are going to save one of the taunts.
For the
Taking out
wild.
him,
To battle.
taking out her.
Job done.
Now, he can kill one of my taunts. You could probably actually kill both of them if he pulls something like Consecration or Hammer of Wrath. He could Hammer of Wrath King Muckla, and or he could Consecration the whole lot and then just ram his archer into Muckla. He has a lot of options on what he can do right now. Oh, Wolf Rider. That's also a choice. It does mean that they all traded pretty favorably, though, which I'm okay with. Yeah, no, I think that was a fair trade. He is still sitting on 2 bananas, though, that he has not used. I suppose he may buff one of his recruits into a 2/2. He could do that. He has to keep something on the board to buff it, though. I think they only cost 1 mana. Flesh Eating Ghoul's a good choice here, because it has enough HP to survive, and I can start buffing it by killing his little guys. In fact, I don't even have to sack any HP to do it either. I think we're going to put out the Gnomish Inventor. Oh, good. That'll be a good card next turn to use as we start buffing up some minions. If I do that, I am going to need to attack with her, which buffs it up to a 3/3. If he consecrates, it stays alive, and it brings it up to a 4/1. He could Hammer Wrath and just take it off the board, though. I mean, that's something he could easily do right now. I'm surprised he's sitting on so many cards. He might be going for some kind of a weird late game build. It's actually probably not ideal for us because several of our cards are only 3 to 4 cost. And we have some pretty good in-game punch through buffs and the like, but right now that's not going to help us out too much. I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
Truth is my shield.
That's a good card. Yeah, that's pretty good. Are you gonna banana it? Bananas. Oh, this shit's bananas. That's funny. Let's see here. How do we want to deal with this? We can put out a Harvest Golem. Okay. I think what we do here is we get lots of minions on the board. Then we sack some of them into that to buff up our ghoul, which could then... in no way I do this is this going to trade favorably. That's the problem right now. I cannot make this trade favorably. The best I can do is get lots of these things on the board and Death Rattle. And that way, I'll sack her, I'll get a 2/2 back. He's sleeping right now, so he can't do anything. If I sack her, I can sack it and the ghoul and get 2 2/2s. It leaves me very susceptible to Consecrate, though. I still have to deal with this 5/6 somehow. I don't want to sack both of those to do it. And it does leave me horribly susceptible to Consecration. I think what I want to do here
Hey, give me a minute.
is actually sack her into this. And then I'll end my turn. That could have gone a lot better. He picked a good time to play the Sunwalker. The Sunwalker's a great card in the worst of times, and it can downright just be an unstoppable force in the best of times, which is exactly what we're seeing right here. Also a very good card. Now that'll be gone. I probably should have actually just sacked it in, and that would have at least gotten rid of this taunt wall. That's really unfortunate for me. But he's out of mana to do anything else with, so that's not terrible for us. He's going to banana it, though. So I'll have to throw a lot of minions into it to get rid of it. I'll have to sack 2 trees and my boar, which is not bad. I'll trade my 1/1 boar for a 2/2 Trent next turn, which is actually pretty favorable. And I'll still control the board afterwards, which isn't too bad. Oh, come on, you have 1 mana. You have to be done. Sheesh. Oh, why couldn't it be a 7-something? I'd just nuke it. Such is the way of things. So what we are going to do is we're going to put out this guy. We are going to sack into this. Sack into this. Sack into that. There's lots of this going on right now, which is not fantastic. We are actually going to save the Jungle Panther because I don't want to let him go 2 for 1 on trading for a Consecration or something, which is exactly what I would expect to have happen. If I give him enough targets, he'll want to do it. And I don't want to give him enough targets, not right now. He's playing a late game kind of deck, and that's unfortunate for us. We could be doing a lot better if we were able to rush him down early and we just didn't get the right cards for it. Or we just misplayed one of the two. I'm terrible.
Reporting for duty.
Oh boy. Okay, now what do we get to do? Violet Teacher, I don't have any spells. That doesn't do me much good. I really can't do anything to that 5/6 at this point that will help me, which is of course terrible. I'm not happy about that. Hopefully he'll buff it. So I am going to sit on the Big Game Hunter. I am going to throw out the Panther. I think I may even throw out the Violet Teacher.
Pay attention, class.
And I'm going to pop that. Is there any way I can't? Without sacrificing 3 minions into that thing, I actually can't kill it right now. So I'm just going to hit him in the face. That's not ideal. I wish that I didn't have to do it this way, but I don't have any good option on how to get rid of it. Maybe he'll buff it and I can kill it next turn with the Big Game Hunter. I'm kind of giving him an opening here to bring it up to a 9/10 or something. You can't target it. It's stealthed. It's funny. He wasn't thinking. That's the only thing I can think of, is that he was not thinking. Again, you can't target it. So you're going to target me. Really? That was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. you should have used it to get rid of my boar or to get rid of my anything other than hitting me. You can't attack it. It has stealth. Come on, I know paladins are terrible, but you're not this bad.
I wonder.
Your best bet's to punch me in the face and make me trade my minions for you. That's your best bet right now. Because if you kill any of the 2 death rattles, I'm going to get them for my use next turn. And you don't have any cards that you can play. You have 0 mana, no coin. Come on. You have an obvious choice here. Thank you. My gosh. Coaching my opponent. Jeez. Alright, I can Shattered Sun Cleric the Panther, and it will instantly kill the Frost Elemental. That still leaves him with a 5/6 on the board that I could kill, but I really don't want to put myself into that position. I feel like that's a mistake. But I think we are going to Shattered Sun on him. And let him just straight kill it. It's fine. I still don't want to trade all that damage, but I don't like how low I'm getting either. I would rather do it this way. I really just would rather attack him instead. It's really unfortunate that I didn't get my wild growth early on, because I would have had a much better position to use it. I mean, I only have 2. Do I have 2? That's pretty bad luck if I have both of them that are still in there. But that would have been nice to be able to actually ramp up a little bit and get to 10 mana before him. Well, I did anyway, but to get to 10 mana a little bit more ahead of him. 10 to 8, that's a little better. It's not as critical as against a priest, but it's still pretty nice. So what's your play, sir? Rocketeer. Okay. Blessing of Mighting the Rocketeer. Oh. Can you kill me? I'm gonna be really upset if I'm dead. I mean, 6 HP, that's not fantastic. That's a bad place for me right now. And you're gonna heal yourself again. Okay. So that's another, and that's probably Noble Sacrifice. If I wasn't retarded, that would be Noble Sacrifice. Alright. Well, what else could it be? If it's a reduced enemy attack to 1, could be that. Let's do this. Do this. Instantly kill it. Okay. It was not the thing that brings it back to life. I can give something +4 attack. Maybe this little Trent thing. I need something to keep me alive, though. And so it may be more prudent to give something +4 health and taunt instead. And then use that like maybe this, maybe my Violet Teacher. That bring it up to a 3/9 with taunt. Between those two, I could, yeah, okay. I think this is a better play. +4 health and taunt. Put her here.
I am ready to learn.
Gives me a little minion because it's a spell. Does that. I can do this. Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I should have thought about that. That was dumb. That was a poor idea. Whoops.
Instruction begins.
That was dumb because this is a mistake now. Let's sack her because I'll get Trent.
Time waits for no one. A natural. For the wild. Job done.
Alright, being at 7 effective health, not good. He could just start drawing nukes and killing me. Right now I'm in a pretty susceptible position, not doing great. He's trying to draw. He's trying to get a consecration or something. I'm sure of it. Consecration would incidentally really screw my day up.
For the crusade!
Okay, that's not what I thought you might have. So far, not bad for me. What can I draw in my hand? So many humilities! Please quit. Please quit making all of my creatures ineffective. Okay, we can put up a little bit of a taunt wall. I don't think I can kill him this turn. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. So I need to focus on keeping his creatures off the board. That's very important right now. If I Mark of Wild, what? I'd like to have 2 taunts rather than 1. I can... what do I want to do? How do I want to do this? I'm going to Mark of Wild him to give me another creature. Yep. I'm going to sack both my little student and I think my big game hunter to kill his 3/1. Yeah. I have to do that. You're gone. You're gone. Trade that 2 for 1. Take it out. Punch him in the head. There we go. Leaves everything, at least my taunts above 2 health, which is important. If he Hammer of Wraths one of them, I'll get a 2/1 out of it. Comes down to what he has in his hand. He's burned 2 humilities already. Doesn't he can't have anything terribly... You fucking kidding me? Oh my gosh, I hate paladins. So much do I hate paladins. You drafted 3 of them. Okay, wow. I'm just gonna keep throwing stuff at him then.
I shall do as you say.
What's better? For me to attack or for him to... I'd rather keep my minion on the board. I'll take 1 hit to Arlen.
Instruction begins.
Alright. Both of those Holy Lights bought him 1 turn. He probably has a lay on hands. Okay. I mean, that's moderately annoying. It's a pretty good card if I let you attack with it. Can I kill you? 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. I think you're dead. I know you're dead.
I am ready to learn.
For the wilds.
Instruction begins.
I shall do as you say. Don't blink.
Take that, Paladin. Damn. I had to burn through like 50 health.
Malfurion versus Jaina.
Jaina Proudmoore. Fantastic. And I go first. That's sad. I'd prefer to go second against a mage. Let's get rid of the inventor. If I get another minion, the Shattered Sun Cleric actually might be kind of nice. The Innervate doesn't do me any good right now. I really wish I could hold on to it though. Trade out something mean and nasty right off the bat. Yeah, let's see what we get instead. Damn, we should have kept the Innervate. Does me no good. Oh no. This isn't gonna go well. I can tell already. That's promising. That's not.
For the wilds.
I should have gotten rid of her. Should have gotten rid of her. Darn it. Oh well. Mark of the Wild, Mark of Nature gives us some fun spell plays when we finally do start getting minions out. The problem is, when are we going to start getting minions out? That's a good card. It's a really good card that I can't do anything about right now. I suppose I could put out the Shattered Sun Cleric. It wouldn't buff anything, but at least I'd have something on the board. It might just instantly get killed by the Demolisher, though. And that would be very sad. I think we're better off just letting him leave it up. And,
For the wilds.
hitting him. I'm letting the Demolisher go ahead and take my armor away. That's gonna come back to be a massive mistake, I'll tell you right now, but oh well. Better that I don't lose a card immediately. here come the spell. Oh, okay. I figured for sure you'd start casting spells after that. Attack with the demo, and then what? Let's see, do we want a Silver Moon Guardian or Yeti? If we Silver Moon, the Yeti all around is pretty strong. It may get hit by the demo, which brings it down to 4/3. He won't sack both creatures and ping it. That'd be very silly. But it can outright kill the Demolisher. So I think I'm gonna drop the Yeti. And it can hit me anyway. Okay. What are you gonna do? Like sheep the Yeti or something? What else? What else? If he puts out 2 minions, Sea Giant can come out next turn. Which would probably... Yeah, I can't see a situation where he would not get rid of that somehow. Luckily, it does not die to a fireball. You're getting sheeped or fireballed. Can't say I'm shocked. Yep, and then that goes away. That's sad. But he is down a sheep. And now I have a taunt, which is nice. That's fine. Chances are he either has a freeze or a fireball or something to neutralize that too, because mage. But at least I got one polymorph off. He saw the Chillwind Yeti as enough of a threat to burn a polymorph. He's probably wishing he didn't burn that polymorph right now. But he could always just throw more creatures at the problem. He couldn't. He could kill it, but he'd have. It would be a horrible trade for him to do it if he does. Better to make me attack his Demolisher. He knows I will. There's absolutely no reason I won't. Mainly because he probably has more tools for direct neutralization than I do, and so I don't want to even give him the chance of. I don't even give him the chance of removing something. It's why super beefed up minions don't do a good job. Ugh. You are. And then you're gonna ping it. Damn. I have to wonder what that spell was. Maybe a mirror entity or something. Man, that's highly unfortunate for me. A wild growth doesn't really help me here. No Wish Adventure would get me a card, which is good. And if that is a mirror entity, it wouldn't bother me too much. It'd bother me much more to give him another silver, to give him a Silver Moon Guardian. So I am gonna try that. Okay, it was not. And then I think we are going to make it a 4/6. Now see, again, this is very dangerous because it still puts it in fireball territory. What else can I do to do that, though? I am still sitting on a Mark of Nature, though. So I think we are going to do this. Counterspell. Okay. That's fine. That's actually one of the ones I don't think about very often, because it's very rare for a mage to pick Counterspell. Maybe that's becoming more common or more... I don't know. I don't know what to expect from that. But that's disappointing. Because it does mean that thing's probably dead. Now, mage is one of those classes where it feels like they just have so many abilities to deal with a wide variety of situations.
Attention, class.
You know, Fireball is always a great spell. Really, you got a Violet Teacher and a Mana Worm. I just can't believe you got both of them. Alright, that Demolisher's dead now. Mainly because I'm just going to Hero Power to kill it. I'm so sick of it. The problem, of course, is what do I play if I do that? I could... Well, if I do that, it really limits my options. But the problem is, I kind of have to do that. I don't really have a choice. So I think we're going to do this. Get rid of the Demolisher. Finally, that thing has lived way too long. And then... I really don't want to play any of these cards. Big Game Hunter I'm sitting on. The Silver Moon Guardian I think is a good play here.
Silvermoon shall not fall.
And I think we'll just end it there. It prevents him from just ramming his Violet Teacher into it to kill it. Of course, he'll just ping the shield and do that anyway, but it'll force him to use his hero power on that rather than something else. And it also would take 2 mana. He'd have to make that choice. Kind of similar to the choice I had to make last turn. I would have loved to have put out, say, him and a Sunfury Protector, or him and the Shattered Sun Cleric, or any number of other things, but just right now I'm a little bit limited on what I can do. You're probably going to pop the shield with your... Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Incidentally, Mage, worst class in the world to have to go against with Divine Shields. Unless you just had tons of them, and even then, one Arcane Explosion just ruins your day. We could put out the Sea Giant, but the problem with big, strong minions against a mage is they can just be nullified. Put out the Bloodfin Raptor, the Shattered Sun Cleric, and then Sunfury Protector them to keep them alive, or to keep them as basically taunt walls. That will die and trade with that. This will die, but it would trade, which would be nice. Leaves me at a card disadvantage, though. Well, what else could I do? I could put one out there and give it +4 health and taunt instead of using the Shattered Sun Cleric. In which case, if I do that, I could actually buff the Sunfury Protector up to a 2/7 with taunt, and leave this as a 3/2 with taunt. Of course, at that point, it just means that they'll...
Time waits for no one.
Alright, whatever. Let's do this, that,
The sun well.
and this.
Shield up.
And you can see it already. This to that, kills it, does 2 damage to me. He may choose to sack the Violet Teacher. I don't think he'll want to, though. I think he was hoping to use that a little bit more effectively than just as a 3/5. And maybe he'll be able to. Ah, that's a good play.
Well played.
Damn, that's a really, really good play. I'm not happy with that. Are you going to sack the Leopard Gnome and hero power it? Yep. Because why wouldn't you? It just refills your hand. Ugh. I hate that. That really is a major disadvantage for me. I could Sea Giant here. This is going to give him more cards. Fairy Dragon, he'd at least have to attack it, and that's exactly what he would do. Making this can't be targeted by spells. Well, I have to play something, and I don't think the Sea Giant's going to help me here. Incidentally, I could play both. I don't see where that's going to be. I don't think I can actually do that to this, because it can't be targeted by spells at all. I'd like the Sea Giant, but again, I'm concerned that he's just going to kill it. Do I have a choice at this point? I sort of do.
For the wild.
I have to give him the card. I can't let him keep that alive in this trade. Boo earns. That really sucks, but not much I can do. And then... I don't think I can. I think it's just immune to any spells.
Time waits for no
Fine,
one.
I'm done. Damn it. I'm really not happy about that at all. If I win this, it'll be a miracle. I don't see... I'm at a major card disadvantage right now. He has a board advantage. He has a health advantage. All the momentum is actually going his way right now. I really don't...
Truth is my
Ugh. Okay. That's less than ideal. Significantly less than ideal. Man. The Infiltrator doesn't help me here. Actually, don't remember what happens if you Wild Growth when you're at 10 mana. Like, I don't actually remember. I'm gonna see what happens anyway. I think it gives you a card of something. Yeah. Draw a card. That's a good card to have right now. I could make it really scary too if I wanted to, but that doesn't help me.
Shall I strike?
Taunt. Absolutely taunt.
I smell blood.
Okay. I don't really want to take 4 damage to the face either. I don't have any good way of dealing with that if I don't.
Time waits for no one.
He'll pop the bubble. He'll do 4 damage to it. He'll ping it, and then he'll sack the worm into it.
For the wild.
Make him make a hard choice. I'll at least pop the bubble. Incoming Flame Strike to ruin my day.
What to do?
Yeah, what to do indeed. I guess I can play with the background stuff while I wait for you to figure out how you want to kill me. Quite honestly, if you have a Pyroblast, I'm dead already. Okay. You're just gonna nullify it. Ugh. That sucks. Yeah. And more cards for you. And I'm dead. I hate mages. Well, 1-1. I'm not going to do any more on this just right now, because mages make me disappointed. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.